The human colony on Zaros stood like a small fortress of civilization amidst jagged mountains and dense, endless forests in the heart of a wild and untamed world. The settlers had come to this unruly planet seeking a new life, a fresh start. But they quickly realized that Zaros was not a place to be taken lightly. The air was thick with unfamiliar scents, the nights filled with strange and eerie sounds, and the land teemed with creatures beyond imagination. Among these creatures, the most feared, inspiring both respect and terror among the colonists, was the Rhino. The Rhino was a nightmare made flesh, over 12 meters tall at the shoulder, covered in armor-like scales as hard as steel, with eyes that glowed a ghostly yellow in the darkness. Its jaws could crush bones in a single bite, and its roar echoed through the forests, a chilling reminder of the lethal dangers lurking in the wild. The colonists lived in constant fear. They built high walls and watchtowers to protect themselves. Despite all precautions, encountering a rhino was almost always fatal. In this harsh environment lived a 10-year-old girl with a spirit as untamed as the planet itself, Lyra. Her parents were scientists, part of the team studying Zaros's unique ecosystem. They were cautious, but Lyra was captivated. She spent her days exploring the edges of the colony, collecting strange plants, and observing the alien animals. Her parents often scolded her for her recklessness, but she could not resist. Zaros's mysteries called to her. One day, venturing farther than usual, Lyra heard a low, guttural growl. Her heart raced, but curiosity overcame her fear. Following the sound, she came upon a clearing. There, at the bottom of a steep ravine, was a rhino. The creature's powerful legs were wedged between rocks, thrashing violently, roaring in frustration. Yet, it was injured and exhausted. Lyra should have run back to the colony to alert the adults, but when she looked into the creature's eyes, she saw more than savagery. They reflected pain, fear, and a desperate plea for help. Against all reason, she felt compelled to help. With trembling hands, she took dried meat from her backpack and slowly approached. The rhino growled, baring its teeth, but it did not attack. Lyra spoke softly, soothingly, and tossed the meat toward it. The rhino sniffed it and devoured it in a single motion. The next day, Lyra returned, bringing water and more food. In the following days, she continued visiting the rhino. Despite the colony's warnings that the creature should be left to die, Lyra persisted, naming it Gorak. Gorak began to grow accustomed to her presence. He no longer snarled and allowed her to approach. Days turned into weeks, and a strange bond formed between the girl and the beast. Lyra learned to read Gorak's body language, recognizing when he was calm or agitated. She discovered his fondness for a particular type of fruit near the colony, and brought it to him as a treat. The adults in the colony remained fearful. Many believed Gorak would one day attack Lyra, but she was undeterred. One evening, as Lyra sat beside Gorak, she noticed unusual lights in the sky, brighter than stars and moving in organized patterns. A silver spacecraft landed in the clearing, and tall, slender beings emerged, the Tsar Knights. They were mysterious entities that traveled the galaxy, observing different forms of life. A melodic voice emanated from a device, speaking in Lyra's language. "We are the Tsar Knights, observers of life across the cosmos. What you have accomplished is extraordinary. Never before have we seen a human, especially one so young, form a bond with a rhino. This is unique." Lyra's heart raced. The Tsar Knights continued, "We wish to understand this bond. May we work with you and Gorak?" Lyra looked at Gorak. The creature was calm. She took a deep breath. "Okay, but you must promise not to harm him." The Tsar Knights bowed their heads. "Our intention is not to harm. We only wish to understand." Thus began a new chapter in Lyra and Gorak's story. A little girl and a fearsome predator were about to embark on a journey that could change not only their lives, but perhaps the fate of Zaros itself. The arrival of the Tsar Knights filled the colony with excitement and uncertainty. Their silver ship hovered near the settlement, a constant reminder of their presence. The colonists watched with curiosity as these enigmatic beings interacted with Lyra and Gorak. The mission of the Tsar Knights was clear: to understand the unprecedented bond between a human child and Zaros's apex predator. Known throughout the galaxy for their advanced technology and profound understanding of interspecies relationships, they were intrigued by the unusual friendship. Lyra formed a close connection with one of them, Zorth. Zorth was fascinated by human emotions and their ability to bond with other species. He saw Gorak Gorak's trust in Lyra as a miracle that defied nature. Zorth provided Lyra with specialized devices, a translator and a wristband monitoring her and Gorak's vital signs. More importantly, they developed a system that could translate their emotions. Through her earpiece and Gorak's collar device, they could speak to each other for the first time. Lyra whispered eagerly, "Hello, Gorak. Can you understand me?" A deep, primal, but unmistakably Gorak's voice resonated in her ear. "Lyra, friend." Tears filled Lyra's eyes. "Yes, Gorak, we are friends." The Tsar Knights watched in awe. This was the first real communication between two species. Weeks passed, and their bond deepened. Lyra learned about Gorak's past, instincts, and preferences. He expressed gratitude for her care, describing the fruits she brought as sweet and warm. His aggressive tendencies diminished, and he became calmer. The Tsar Knights concluded that empathy and kindness had transformed the beast. Not everyone in the colony was convinced. Marcus, the security chief, and others feared that Gorak could strike at any moment. Arguments grew heated. One evening, Lyra defended Gorak. "He is not a monster. He is only misunderstood. We can learn from him. We can learn to coexist." Marcus reluctantly stepped back, warning, "If anything goes wrong, the responsibility is yours." The Tsar Knights offered Lyra an advanced proposal to train Gorak, even ride him. Though risky, Lyra accepted. A special saddle was designed. On her first ride, Gorak's massive form moved cautiously at first, then gradually gained speed. Lyra laughed, feeling freedom as they ran together across the wilds of Zarus. Now, Gorak was not just a predator, but Lyra's friend and companion. They became a symbol of hope for the colony. Eventually, together, the Tsar Knights addressed the entire colony. The bond between Lyra and Gorak cannot be explained by technology alone. It is founded on trust and empathy. Even the wildest creature can change through compassion. But caution is necessary. Such bonds may not be possible with all species. Skepticism remained, but so did respect. Children saw Lyra as a hero, and even Marcus fell silent. Lyra and Gorak continued to explore Zarus's untamed lands. Danger and mystery lay ahead, but they were no longer alone. A simple message came from Gorak's mind through the device. "Together, journey." Lyra smiled. "Yes, Gorak. Together." And thus, a little girl and a mighty predator began writing the legend that would not only shape their world, but potentially the fate of an entire civilization.